Hey, this is Black Ninja. I'm here to talk about something. I'm here to talk about obsession and misandry in marriage, as well as raising kids. There are favor some women that favor having boys over girls, but like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how I disagree with marriage and I don't really believe in marriage. Um, because today it's like because of this horrendous man-hating culture of ours and um, of feminist extremist occupation. Um, uh, it's so hard to be male in this country now, just in North America, and because it's more like in television, like the woman is always the bright, astute, and right about everything, and the man is treated like the fool, the jester, and whereas a lot of men, 25 to 50% of men, it's a growing factor that a lot of them don't want to get married because they lose their sense of themselves and their sense of controlling the family. Like it used to be that a man could get married because he would be entrusted to be the head of the family, and that's not the case anymore in a lot of cases, except in the traditional sense. I mean, I do like to take command, but it's more women should realize that it's a more vestige of attraction when a man takes charge of things, and um, and really what it should be is not let the woman do everything. It's more um, uh, it should be that a lot of men don't want to get married because they lose their sense of you know becoming the pet or the subservient male to the woman. Um, being watched every second and controlled and just marriage isn't all it's cracked up to be these days. And it's not a healthy relationship to have one person take all the power and the other to be subservient because it's not a loving relationship. It's unless you allow each other to take turns in controlling things. Um, that's not the case. I mean, like a lot of you lose your sense of self, whether you're a man or woman. You lose your sense of your own identity. You get cut off from your friends. Marriage is just horrific. And just having kids. Have kids when you want them, but it's like a lot of consequences can happen when you keep neglecting your kids. Um, and another thing is that like the obsession of children being more important than people. Um, the whole point of growing up is that you are important as a kid because you get more attention and you have your talents nurtured, but that's really more of a self discovery thing. And you do get guidance from your parents, but provided that they are good parents. But the whole point of uh, growing up is that childhood is just a short vestige of time um, for adulthood. You're a child, and then you grow up, and you actually need more support as a teenager, and you should become more valued as an adult, being able to get a job and uh, So I don't believe in child worship per se. Like, children are our future. It's like what George Carlin said. Um, you overprotect them, and they become soft and weak and fruity, and it's not good parenting. It's better parenting to teach them practical things like how this world is a since this world has become a rotting cesspool of hate and fear. Teach them how to defend themselves. So because the more you like with bullying at school, like the more you have someone else or tell the teacher or have a parent rat on them, the more they get victimized. It just encourages who's ever harassing them to harass them more for ratting them out, and it doesn't do anything. And it's better to either teach them how to defend themselves in groups, or as young as possible, or do homeschool. Because God only knows. I mean, it doesn't happen in Canada, thank God, but you've got more of these crazy kids shooting up the schools. You don't want that. And just marriage isn't this perfect, happy life. There are some good childhoods and there's some bad childhoods. You should, you know, school never did anything to help me when I would be harassed by hearing impaired kids because I could hear and they couldn't back when I was in school, and they just never did anything. When I would be harassed by my own teachers for a long time, and so a lot of the times when you rat out or tell an adult, it's not going to work. You got to do things for yourself, and got to teach your kid how to be more grown up and self-reliant as young as possible. Because that way they're less dependent on you. They're less soft. They're less weak, and less over nurtured, over prepared. Just they become too soft. So toughen them up. That's all I gotta say. And kids are great, but not when they're little monsters and hellions. And you gotta discipline them. And you don't even be afraid to spank them. It's not such a bad thing. And so because of marriage, because of feminism, it undermines marriage and relinquishes control of a man to take control of things. And a lot of times men could get married because they were like back in the 40s and 50s. They could easily take control of things, and that's not the case anymore. You should don't. I'm talking to the women out here. Like, don't be afraid to let your man take control of things. It won't kill you to let him take control. It is not surrendering to submission by letting him take control. And this is why in the name of masculism, let him do these things. And a man can be just as coherent and conscientious and capable of taking control of things. And so don't be afraid to do this. And and if you teach your kids the proper way to defend themselves or get them homeschool, it'll empower them, and it'll make them feel that they can handle things on their own, and it gives them a sense of pride and self-reliance to do this. And that's all I gotta say. So if any of you are about to get married or agree with me, and if any of the guys out there agree with me in the sense of marriage, or raising kids or teaching kids how to fight or protect themselves, or have kids that are being bullied, comment below and get back to me. And that's all I gotta say. Black Ninja out.